Have you ever looked around at the business you've worked so hard to build and realized it doesn't quite fit the life you're trying to live anymore? That's exactly where I found myself a few weeks ago. Not because my business was failing, not because I stopped loving photography, but because I had changed. After walking past the same vision board hanging in my office, I finally decided it was time to update it. I thought I'd replace almost everything, but what I discovered surprised me. Today, I want to share why I updated my vision board, what stayed exactly the same, what changed, and why I think every photographer needs a mid-year reset. Welcome to the Pursuit of Photography. I'm your host, Katrina Jackson. This is the podcast where we have real conversations about photography, business, creativity, and building the life you're excited to wake up to. If you're a photographer who wants more than just pretty pictures and you're trying to build a business that actually supports the life you want to live, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. I have had this on my to-do list since the beginning of the year. January is a great time. January is a great time to do a big reset on your business, reevaluate your goals, see if you're moving in the right direction, pivot if you need to. So like I said, this has been on my to-do list. Actually, the last time I did this was in 2024. So to be honest, it's probably been on my to-do list for several years. And I finally sat down. I was like, you know what? Actually, what really triggered this to happen, besides it being on my to-do list, I listened to a podcast. I cannot recall what the podcast was or even who it was. And it wasn't photography related, and it might have been health and fitness. I don't even know, but they were talking about vision boards, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to do that. Like I keep saying I need to do it. I know it's on my to-do list, and I have not checked that off. One of the reasons is because I know there's things on my vision board that it's still a work in progress. But what I realized is there are things that need to be on it, and then I'm not seeing it daily. And then also I feel like some of the visual references I used need to be tweaked so that it actually hits my heart, instead of it just being visually pleasing. Like for instance, let's say it's something materialistic like a purse. And I've received that purse, but I have another purse I want in mind. So I still have that old vision board, but it's the old purse because I already have the other purse now. So things like that. The last vision board I had, I just literally had like dollars on like money, stacks of money. And I'm like, you know what? No, I actually wanted to say how much I want to bring in per month for my pursuit. I also want the other side of my business. I wanted to actually say the money amount that I want to make for the year. And then some of them too are positive like mantras to put that energy out into the world. So like I said, I finally pulled that off. I went into my Pinterest board because I have a hidden Pinterest board that I will just pin things to. And as I was looking at the Pinterest board, I was like, you know what? A lot of this is still the same. Like I still really like a lot of these things. And some of it is about this life that I'm building. It's a journey. It's not just, oh, I checked this one off the list and it's done. So some of my items on my list are health and fitness, wellness, capsule wardrobe. Like I love a capsule wardrobe. Like that's literally how I dress. Dream vacations. But the health and fitness, that is, as we all know, if you're on a health and fitness journey, it's never ending. And it's a work in progress for me. So that is still very much like at the top of my vision board. It's not changing. Some things that have changed are now that I'm an educator. I've been an educator. This is nothing new. Like I've literally spoken at several conferences. I have done several online conferences. So this isn't anything new, but it is new as far as it being like in my own business. So I now have my own business, The Pursuit of Photography. I have the Pursuit Plus, and I am pouring into these two avenues in my business. Starting the podcast, that's The Pursuit of Photography. That is new. So I wanted that to reflect on my vision board because it's not on my old vision board. different seasons with my girls. So I have a picture of a mom and two girls, and it symbolizes building a better relationship or a good, stronger relationship with my daughters. My girls are in two very different stages of life, which also means parenting and the relationship looks different. I have an almost 21-year-old who does not live at home anymore, does not even live in the same state. So that relationship is very much different. Like, we have laid the foundation for her. We've raised a beautiful, strong, independent woman. And now that relationship is, in hopes that you keep building that relationship, you keep that strong foundation. And then I have my little 8-year-old who will be 9 in August. And, I am laying that foundation for her, right? So, and parenting is very different for an 8-year-old and a 20-year-old. I don't really feel like I'm parenting the 20-year-old anymore. She's living on her own. But we are here for her, obviously, if she needs us. And then the priorities are different, right? So I am in my 40s now, and I don't even know how this has happened. I'm like, where did my 20s go? Where did my 30s go? Now I'm in my 40s, and I do feel like at 40, a switch happened where I've always been a people pleaser. I always do what I say I'm going to do. And now that I'm 40, I'm like, I will pivot in a minute. If it does not feel right to me, if I'm no longer feeling it, sorry, it doesn't work for me. I'm pivoting. I don't owe anybody an explanation for anything. And so, like I said, I have different priorities, and I want to be more intentional. So a few of the images on my vision board is like a picture of a family playing board games. We love playing board games. I feel like my family, we kind of struggle with, we go out, but we don't go out. We always do the same things. Like, we go out to eat, we go to the movies, we go to like Chicago, and we'll do like the same thing there, but we don't necessarily go, what is it, putt golf, or let's go roller skating. We don't really venture into, like, not saying we haven't, we're just not that family who's randomly just doing activities. I feel like we are very much like regimen in that way. We'll do the same things that we just know that we like. And there's nothing wrong with that, and also like board games. We will play board games, but it's usually in the winter. Summer, we're outdoor swimming. Me and my daughter's outdoor swimming. My husband, he will not get in the water. He will get in the water maybe 3 times a year, and that's almost pushing it. So, and then there's some things on, like I talked about earlier, some of my stuff is materialistic things. Designer bags that I might want, jewelry that I want. I actually changed out my dream car. I have a different dream car now. Bucket list vacations. And then some of them are like, no one would know what it is, but I know what it means. So, and yeah, I'm not even going to go into those because they're like, I don't want to say they're hidden, but there's a reason I know what they mean, but no one else needs to know what they mean. What surprised me about me redoing my vision board, I actually sat down and I thought I was going to redo it completely. And I believe I've said this already. I ended up probably keeping about half of the images, like I said, because some of my dream vacations have not happened yet. The health and fitness is very much still in my life. Traveling is still in my life. The board games is still something that I actively want to continue doing as a family. I also have a husband and wife on my vision board, and it's because, being married is work. And that's saying it lightly. And that's something that we are both actively trying to be better at. So I thought I was going to like scrap it all and redo it. And I ended up not scrapping most of it. And then I ended up adding a lot of things. So, and actually I feel like my pictures are smaller because I added more to it, which is actually really good because they were goals that I had, but they weren't on my vision board. So again, if you're not seeing it every day, how are you going to check off those goals? Or how are they in the forefront of your mind if you're not seeing them? So yes, at first I kind of felt discouraged because I was like, oh gosh, I haven't checked off a lot of these things. But the more and more I sat and when I redid it, I realized like that's also the point. Health and fitness is a journey. It's never going to be something that is completed because I am getting older. So I am having to figure out new things. What worked 5 to 10 years ago for me to lose weight and maintain my weight is not where I am right now. We are in the 40s. We are in the perimenopause. We are most weeks and days fighting for our lives. And if you know, you know. Some dreams aren't meant to happen in 1 year. Some dreams become the direction we're walking towards. It's not a box that we're just trying to check. So I just, now that it's done, I can breathe and I can't wait to print it. I just finished it today. So I literally did this last week, pinned all the new pins. I put it into Canva, have it all pretty, and I cannot wait to get it printed. And honestly, I don't print it from my photography lab or anything like that. I will have it printed at Walgreens or CVS. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's an 8x10 and it literally sits right in front of my computer, off to the side next to my best friend and my family. So yeah, and I can't wait to print it. If you haven't ever created a vision board, I am going to kind of walk you through some tips on how you can create a vision board. And yeah, if you end up creating one and it's your first time where you just tweaked one, feel free to DM me. You can send it to me. You can tell me you did it. I am here to be you guys' biggest cheerleaders. So what I do is, like I said, I use Pinterest. I have a hidden board. So if you want it public, you can have it public. If you want to have it hidden, you can hide it. And mine was titled Vision Board 2024, which is how I knew it was 2 years old. And then I didn't end up even changing the year of the board. I just kept that the same. But then I ended up adding pins to it. And then I ended up removing some pins, like some things that I don't need to worry about. I don't really want to see anymore. Like my old dream car. She's still a nice car, but that ship has sailed. We're off to bigger and better things over here. So I feel like a lot of people think vision boards need to be just like your dream house, your dream car, $1 million. If you have a business, like an educator business, like the next launch, those are all great ideas. And those things are also on my vision board. But I also feel like they're not the focus point of my vision board. For me, my vision board is about who I'm trying to be. Or where I'm going in life. So living a healthy lifestyle, being present with my family, being creative, being intentional, being confident, being a better wife, a better mom, a better leader. And then I do still have the materialistic things on there. I ain't gonna lie. I have jewelry on there. I have handbags on there. I've got the bucket list trips. Yeah. And then I realized after creating it that my vision board isn't just about achievements, it's about my identity. So like I said, you can put the dream house and car and how much you want to make. But when I look at my vision board, that is probably 10% of what my vision board is. My vision board is really about who I'm trying to be and who I want to be as a wife and a mom. And honestly, I feel like that makes it even more meaningful because I know as kids, and then you go to teens and then young adults and then adults, we're always trying to be a better person. We're trying to be the better version of ourselves. And when I look at my vision board, this new one, I am like, yes, that's exactly where that's the goal. Questions every photographer should ask. So I am going to put these in the show notes if I can figure out how to do that. But if not, I am going to read the question. So what season am I in? So I am currently in a rebuilding season. And I feel like I'm in a rebuilding season in my personal life and my business. In the photography business, I am definitely, and also on the education side, like I am building the education side from the ground up. So that is very much like a rebuild or a build. We're not even rebuilding, we are building. And then in my photography side of my business with my clients, I do feel like I'm in a rebuild. My oldest, graduated high school 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago. And I don't know any really of the underclassmen of her school. And then even in that time frame, I started shooting girls about an hour and a half away. So I don't know any of them at all. So most of my business is based off of referrals. So I'm definitely trying to actively get into my local town more while still keeping my clients that are about an hour and a half away. And that just looks like blogging, the SEO, like retargeting, dialing that in. And then also like AI is playing a huge role in that. And I have not went down that rabbit hole just yet. It's on my to-do list, but figuring out how, because it used to be you could blog and Google would pick up your blogs. And now it's not that. It is like answer generated questions. So I need to do a deep dive and figure that out. It's never a dull moment here in owning your own business. What do I want more of? Clients. Definitely need more clients still. And then also, I want to spend more quality time as a family. I think we're pretty good at doing our vacations. I'm pretty good at having my downtime. Lydia's pretty good at having her downtime. But I do think as a family, we struggle at getting away and fully unplugging. We will get away for a day. Like we'll go to Chicago. We'll randomly wake up and be like, hey, let's go to Chicago for a day. We'll get food, we'll eat, and we'll come back. But I do think we need to have it be more meaningful in the sense of building or just creating core memories for Lydia. So going to a putt-putt golf place or going to a museum that she might want to see. We do the zoo a lot, but I think we need to get out of our comfort zone and do other things that we don't normally do. What am I ready to let go of? I feel like I've already done that. This year, like I said, I'm building my own education side of the business. I am not in any photographer like mentoring groups. I'm working on building my own. And I stepped away from doing any education for other platforms and am working on building my own. What still matters to me? My family and being financially free. What still matters to me? Obviously, my family, being financially free, health and fitness, eating healthy. That is like my constant like struggle bus right there is the eating healthy. What do I need to recommit to? Honestly, probably my faith. I really need to lean more into that. I feel like that is one that unfortunately for me, I can fill Sunday with other things and I shouldn't do that, or I should just listen online. I need to make more time for that. If I can make time to talk to my friends on the phone, if I can make time to read 32 books this year, I can take the time to listen to a church sermon. So I definitely need to recommit to that. What would success look like if nobody else was watching? Gosh, I think for me, it would be having, and I know this is going to be like what everybody says, but I think for me and my personality and how I function, definitely having work-life balance. I love the amount of clients I have, and I could double the amount of clients that I have. But I also know that I don't do well when I'm overwhelmed. So there has to be a balance there. If I am like grinding and I have all the clients and my house is a mess, I am not a happy person. So I really need to have the balance of all three to be happy and then also successful. Because to me, I feel like those go hand in hand. Like I want to be successful, then I also want to be happy. All right. So if you guys, like I said, end up updating your vision board or making a vision board, feel free to DM me and send them to me or tell me about it. I would love to hear about it. The biggest lesson I learned while updating my vision board was not everything had to change. My dreams simply took long. Some dreams simply take longer. Some dreams grow with us. Some dreams stay because they're a part of who we're becoming, and that is okay. And I think it's very interesting because this obviously isn't my first vision board. This isn't my second vision board. I've been doing this for many years. And I do think as I've gotten older, my vision board, while there are still materialistic things on it, I do think in the beginning it very much was just all materialistic things, where now I feel like my vision board is more of who I want to be and who I'm becoming. And some of it's who I am currently, like what I'm striving to be or working towards. If you've been feeling like you're behind, if you've been wondering why your business doesn't feel the way you've hoped, or maybe you've simply been too busy building your business to stop and ask where it's actually taking you, I hope this episode reminds you that it's okay to pause, not because you're quitting, not because you failed, but because clarity is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. And it's okay to do it at any time of the year. We are just now going into July, and I just finished my vision board for this year, just updated it. And that is okay. And I can decide next month that I want to change it up again. Actually, while I was filming this, I did think of something else that I left off. And I was like, crap, I need to go back in and add that as well. So again, this is not it's done. Nope, it is ever evolving. We are ever evolving people. We should be ever evolving people. If you're not evolving, I don't think you're growing. And that's probably not a good thing. This week, I want to challenge you to spend just 30 minutes with yourself. Maybe it's updating your vision board. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's taking a walk without your phone. Ask yourself one question. What kind of life am I actually trying to build? I would love to hear your answer. Send me a DM on Instagram or tag me if you decide to revisit your own vision board. And if this episode encouraged you, I'd be so grateful if you subscribe and leave a review. It helps more photographers discover these conversations, and it means the world to me. Until next time, keep pursuing more than just beautiful photographs. Pursue a business, a life, and a legacy you're proud to build.